All right, guys, how's it going? So there's a bit of criticism circulating social media today, certainly discussion, and a few articles regarding some quotes that's come out from a journalist regarding former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. Now, you know that I want to, focus on Arne Slot moving forward, the future rather than the past. I don't want to be one of them, people that say, "Oh, I can't believe Jurgen's gone." Do you know what I mean? I've seen some fans, you know what I mean, on YouTube, and it's get a fucking grip, man. Do you know what I mean? We want to talk about the future. We don't want to be talking about Jurgen Klopp when we've got a new manager. So I keep saying he who shall not be named. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of a giggle in that. But this is something that we can't ignore, right? We have to talk about Jurgen Klopp here and to defend him, I think, a little bit. Don't take it the wrong way. Jurgen Klopp is an absolute legend. I miss him dearly already, right? But what I mean is, there's no point dwelling on it. Move forward. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you split up with a bird and that. Yeah, you're heartbroken, whatever. But you're gonna get some more in the future. You'll be all right. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and if you did pull that new bird, right, and you go around to the in-laws' house and you sat there with your new girlfriend and the in-laws, her mum and dad are sat there going, "He was a lovely fellow, was Dave. You've got a lot to live up to be honest. What a shame he had to. You wouldn't feel very good, would you?" So we've got to think about Arne Slot, you know what I mean? But Jurgen is coming under a bit of criticism here from a journalist called Duncan Castle. Some of you will have heard of him before. He's defined as a sports journalist for the Sunday Times and numerous other publications, and he's a graduated doctor. So we're going to call him Dr. Castles. All right. Now, if you were to search Duncan Castles Liverpool and then click on news on Google, you will, Duncan Castles Liverpool, and then see the articles he's wrote regarding Liverpool or other football clubs. You can then judge for yourself his reliability. Supporters of different clubs have different opinions. Some people think he's pro-Chelsea, he's pro-United. And I think these things are important when a journalist is talking about Liverpool Football Club, right? I saw this comment earlier. He always prints shit and horrible news that doesn't come true at all. He has a patchy record when it comes to reliability, said someone else. In 2017, he said Liverpool will sack Jurgen Klopp if they fail to qualify for the Champions League or win a trophy this season. According to Duncan Castles, that's the headline. Another headline in 2017 in relation to that, Klopp is getting sacked by LFC, claims idiotic Duncan Castles. He's run multiple headlines saying that Liverpool were leading the race to sign Kylian Mbappe. I think even maybe 6 months ago there was still a suggestion of that. In 2021, Liverpool have substantial budget to sign another Mo Salah this summer. So what he said overnight or in the last 24 hours apparently is as followed. One of the things that happened under Jurgen Klopp in his second last season, which was the season of multiple injuries, was that Klopp stopped using an AI-led analysis of players' physical output on the field and in training, which was designed to flag up whether players were likely to get injured or not. So in other words, if you want to believe him, Jurgen said, listen to fucking AI, I make my own decisions. And I understand that caused a fair amount of discontent within the backroom staff at Liverpool because they felt the system would be working well and it got overridden by Klopp. So this is an opportunity bringing a coach in who they have specifically targeted to fit the way they want to work for them, to do something different, but also a big test of whether handling everything over to the scientists works or not, right? So we need to look at a few things here. What I will say is that in 2017, which is 7 years ago, there was a headline by this chap or whatever that was based on comments he said at the time, Liverpool players depressed by Jurgen Klopp's new training schedule. So it's not the first time that he's suggested, that to do with things to do with training, negative things to do with training and injuries. Now, if you remember, during the hunt for a new manager, the big guns, the ones that you pay attention to, the likes of, Born Again Joyce and also Ornstein, right, David Ornstein, they said, I think it might have been Ornstein actually, but I'm sure that the other one will have latched onto it or they'll have said similar, was that Liverpool were looking for a candidate that one of the qualities, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure, qualities, was that the new manager would look at it was a data-led driven approach, and they would also look at the availability of these players and what the club that the candidate to be the next Liverpool manager, where he was at. In other words, they wanted to see how often that manager's players were injured. That was one of the things that Liverpool were looking for in relation to the new appointment, right? So because of that statement alone from the big guns that you would listen to, if you were a journalist down the ladder, you could look at that, latch onto that and spin that a little bit. You could, couldn't you? To make it sound like you knew what you were talking about, right? I'm not saying that's what the case is here, but that is very possible, right? And we know that since Jurgen's left, coincidentally, since the return of Michael Edwards to the club, as Rafa would say, the club, since the return of Michael Edwards, there has been some digs, some backstabbing into Jurgen that's come out via the likes of Born Again Joyce, that some people might want to suggest is like that with Edwards, and some people feel that this negativity has come out now that Jurgen's left, is leaving, was leaving at the time, but has obviously now left, but he was leaving at the time those digs were coming out, things about like Jurgen, it was Jurgen that wanted Darwin Núñez. Jurgen said he could get the best out of him. Oh, the people at the club didn't want him. They wanted someone else and all that, right? Little things like that. And there was at least, I think, 3 incidents of that. I forget the other ones. Read the video description, the comment, sorry, because some people will remember. I've got a memory like a sieve. But there was at least 3 obvious digs at the boss, the former boss, via the likes of Born Again Joyce, right? So we know that there's that negative. They've tried to put that out, right? Because the suggestion is that Edwards and Klopp didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. That's the rumours. Some people think that's why Klopp left. He's like, fuck that, I'm not having that, right? And that's why they say Edwards, when he was coming back into the equation, was like, well, I want control. I'm not having anyone pull rank over me again, right? So all them things there are stuff that we've heard from the credible journalists, and we know that it's been leaked out from the club, right? So because they were doing a data-led driven approach to a new candidate to become the next manager of Liverpool, and one of those things was how often their players were injured, whoever that candidate may be, use that coupled with the digs that have come out of Anfield, and I think it's quite easy for another journalist to then spin something like this, because I don't think this, by Dr. Castles, is up there with like, although this might seem like backstabbing, I don't think this has come from the club. Am I making sense here? So the other backstabbing, I think, was genuine backstabbing that was coming from within the club, from certain individuals within the club. This, although you could say, I could run another title now and say more backstabbing, right? Which I might do. I don't know. I'm going to title this video, right? I don't think this is backstabbing from someone within the club. I'm not sure I, have faith in these particular claims that it's come from someone within the club. So, and that's why I started off the video by saying to you, this journalist, the views of other people are that he's not reliable, and he's more aligned with Manchester United and pro Mourinho and all this. If he was a Liverpool fan, or he was a credible Liverpool journalist, you might give more time to him. So I'm just explaining to you, you go and do your own research and you'll see for yourself. I'm indifferent with this journalist. I don't have an opinion about him because I don't consider him relevant to Liverpool Football Club. Even the journalists that are in the clique of journalists that are way below Ornstein and Born Again Joyce, we still listen to what they say so that we can dismiss a lot of what they say. One of them, for example, which I might do a video about this over the weekend for the channel members, because I don't really want to speak about this particular journalist publicly. I'd rather limit the audience. This particular journalist, some people listen to him, but he's in that Liverpool clique. And, he was coming out with like these obvious fucking statements, like Diaz might leave Liverpool and might leave, won't leave. This is, you know what I mean? Like these journalists, if this, when they come out and say, Mo Salah will stay, Mo Salah will leave, Darwin Núñez will go, will stay. They don't do that though, do they? They're no different to you and me, right? So, and I've seen so many quotes from this one hack, LFC click hack, that some people listen to, and I'm reading, and I don't go looking for them. It's just coming up on the stuff that I'm on it for you guys, and I'm thinking, what a load of fucking shite. But we would still listen to see what he's saying, so we can dismiss that shit. To be honest with you, you form your own opinions. I'm just here to help a few people out that trust me. Do you know what I mean? I always say form your own opinions. But with regards to this particular hack, journal, whatever you want to say, I wouldn't even listen to this one to dismiss him. Does that make sense? Like, he's Dr. Castles that says, well, I don't even give a fuck what he said. But that's normally what I think when I see something from him. But it's being debated because people are saying, there's some people out there that maybe are not as loyal to Jurgen Klopp as you think in the fan base, and will say, see, I was right, there's too many injuries. Do you know what I mean? My personal opinion with this is this isn't credible that's come from within the club. I can't say the journalist is making it up, but I just think this is an opportunity. I think that me and you could have done that. How easy is it to be a fucking football journalist, really, guys? If you think about it, make a career from it, couldn't you? And they always do this, like, they make these little claims, and then there's always that little disclaimer. Maybe sometimes you don't see it, but I spot it a fucking mile off. See, I'm passionate about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm really passionate about it. I've got nothing against this fella. You know what I mean? But he's got a great name for a start. It's called Duncan, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? But in this instance, I don't think that Duncan knows best. Just saying. I think this one does. So I hope I've explained myself. I'm not sure very well. I hope I have. But although it could appear to sound like, there's another dig at Jurgen there from within the club, I don't believe this journalist is connected to the club at all. So I think this journalist let's word it like this. I think he's getting his information from somewhere else, and I don't believe it personally. I haven't heard anyone on the coaching staff, any rumours of anyone on the coaching staff at Liverpool of having any digs towards Jurgen. And just without going too deep into it, on the members' website here behind us, I can't say what I want to say, but we have a good connection over the last few years, longer than few years, to the medical setup at Liverpool Football Club. I would love to tell you, and I can say right now that via that particular fan that's on there, one of our VIP members, that they've never, said to me or posted on the members' website, this is what I'm hearing from the medical team, they're not happy with Jurgen because of all the injuries or out like that. And then we have somebody else that was very close to Pep Lijnders, right? Never heard anything from Pep Lijnders saying, I'm fucking sick of Jurgen, he's not listening, he's overriding or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? So, what was the, they thought the system would be working well and it got overridden by Klopp. A fair amount of discontent within the backroom staff. There might be discontent within some of the management now that are like, Jurgen was too powerful. I think that's what I think this is part of the issue here, that Jurgen, right, became too powerful. And what I mean by that is not powerful in like, hey, do you know who I fucking am? I don't mean that. Just rightfully powerful. Look what I have done for the owners. Look what I have done for your club. Jurgen would never have walked around saying that, but we can say it. Look what Jurgen has done to that club for you fuckers. He's put billions on it, you ungrateful fuckers, right? He's done that, right? He's delivered silverware. He made the supporters that were fucking doubters at the time believe again. And he brought great happiness to many of us, right? So Jurgen was a powerful figure. And just like Rafa Benitez and Kenny Dalglish before, I think they didn't go near Rafa, Tomic there, Rafa. They didn't go near Rafa when he had a chance to come back to the club at the time because too powerful. There were suggestions that Dalglish was fucking really not happy with the owners at the time. Well, not even a suggestion. I know a lot more about that, right? But the rumor was, and I can't say how I know this or where it was. It just came from somewhere. If I told you where it came from, you'd be like, well, that's fucking solid then, innit? Because it couldn't come from anyone any fucking closer. That at the time, Dalglish felt that every time there was something going wrong at Liverpool, FSG used to weed him out like the Pope. That was what was, what was fed to me. Right? In other words, it's Kenny Dalglish, innit? Oh, the fans are all kicking off. Get Dalglish out there to tell him everything's all right. Yeah? And then there were suggestions that because of austerity at the time, like they were going to cut all the salaries and get rid of, there was, if you can think back to changes, they would get rid of a player on a huge salary and bring in someone maybe not as good on a quarter of the salary, things like that. There were suggestions from people within the club that, well, Kenny won't put up with that. So I don't think they like powerful people. And if you think about it, now, Arne Slot's not powerful. Jurgen Klopp wasn't powerful when he came in. Brendan Rodgers was not powerful. How can Brendan Rodgers challenge the owners when he was being a manager that was learning his career, if you like? And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it was a big step up to Liverpool Football Club at the time. Whereas someone like Rafa could knock on a door and go, do you know what I've fucking done in the game? And you're telling me, do you know what I mean? Right? I'm not saying that Jurgen got too powerful and they got rid of him, but it was clearly internally, he was clearly, versus Edwards, for example, I'm the manager. I think that player should be rewarded with a contract. I'm his manager. So who should make them decisions? The manager that's with that player every day of the week, or a suit that wants to balance the finances and everything? There's got to be a good working relationship, hasn't there? And sometimes maybe one has to concede and the one other doesn't. And I would argue that Jurgen conceded anyway on many of those deals where we know there was friction. Right? Arne Slot coming in, would they, people would say during the managerial process, do you think they'd go for Zidane? Do you think they'd go for Mourinho? Now, forget whether you like Mourinho or not, or whether you think he's a dinosaur or not. Would they have really gone for someone like so big? I don't think FSG would have done that. And it all falls in now, if you think about it, with a head coach. A head coach usually has a football director or sporting director or whatever that says, we're bringing these players in, you're going to work with them. A head coach absolutely does not have as much power as a manager. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that moving forward. I'm not saying that Arne Slot won't have the ability to say, well, I'd like this player, because surely the likes of Edwards and Hughes would say, all right, okay, well, let's look at him, let's see what we can do that. Oh, no, we can't. Do you know what I mean? They've got to work together. But we've seen a change here from manager to head coach, right? And I think that fits in with the people in the suits and up the chain being the one calling the shots now, and not the head coach. Does that make sense? I know we're going all over here, but it's kind of relevant in a bit because Jurgen, I think, did become a bit powerful, and that's why I don't think there's no way in a million years I don't think Edwards and I know they said Rafa, Edwards and Klopp would have worked together. So I'm not saying they got rid of Klopp because of Edwards coming back, but it just didn't seem like it was going to work. And now is their opportunity, now he has gone, to put in the frame that they want, right? And they were so lucky because, the owners were so lucky because with Jurgen, he didn't fucking challenge him anyway that we know of. It's clear that towards the end, you could see he got more prickly in his press conferences in transfer windows, didn't he? And there were certain things he said where we were like, hang on a minute, that don't sound fucking right. But he was still respectful to them, unfortunately. So why is all that relevant? What are you waffling on about? What are you telling us all that for? Well, because since Jurgen's gone, there is clearly people within the club now that might not have been there before that have used the opportunity since he's gone through the media, through Born Again Joyce to say, Klopp's to blame for that, Klopp's to blame for that, Klopp's to blame for that. So is today's quotes I've just read you now related to that? Is it a further attack and discredit of the former Liverpool manager? I don't think it is in this instance. So I'm not trying to excuse the other people that have dug at Klopp, which I think is disgusting, after everything he's done for every fucker associated to the club, right? But I just think that this journalist, I don't believe this journalist is credible or worth listening to, in my opinion. And that's it, you know. I'm sure if he watches this video, go, you're not fucking credible, and watch yours. Well, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just telling, you know, I'm telling people what I think. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm fucking wrong. But what I do know is that it's being discussed on social media right now, and some people that watch my videos might think it's a fresh attack from within the club, and I don't think it is. I just think it's one of those cases of a journalist going, oh, that sounds like this, that, and the other. All right? Klopp added to their story. Fucking Jurgen, man. Oh, yeah.
5 days ago was the big goodbye, and I still try to process.
Oh, it cut off. Anyway, it's probably I've probably got to click on it to watch it all. That's Kloppo on Instagram, Kloppo. I'm sure you know how to spell it. Right. See, I watched that video of them. I'm already fucking depressed again. I hope I've got the message out here. I don't even know what the message is in this video, to be honest with you. I think this message is someone shit stirring and I won't pay any attention to it, to be honest with you. That's what I think I'd say. And whether you believe that journal or not, or you want to listen to the people at the club now, fuck right off. I think it's disrespectful, people having a dig at Jurgen. I think fuck right off. I'm off. We're going live soon as well. I don't know if I'm doing a live stream tonight. I was a bit tired last night. I'll be doing one this afternoon at 3 o'clock UK though. If you appreciate the video, please give me a thumbs up. Well, give the video a thumbs up. I don't want a thumbs up. Well, girls, it depends. Please leave a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. Please read the video description. Join the Facebook group. The Facebook group. Them rumours were never proven. The Facebook group, the chat room, the mailing list. I went out and sent a lovely fucking long email out today. I might do a video about that in a minute, actually, just to tell people how they can subscribe to it. All right, guys, I've got to go. Sorry if I've waffled on. I hope I've explained. Have I explained it well? Have you got what I'm trying to say? And if you've got any opinions about that journalist, good or bad, because we're about fairness around here, right? Please drop them in the comment sections. You know, if you think, nah, he's all right, that's fine. I ain't got anything. I ain't got nothing against. I just don't listen to him. All right, see you in a bit.